Hi, my name is Andrea Sotin, and my project is the Green Apple Project. They are a 501c3 nonprofit corporation with a board of 8 and a single paid executive director based at the LC Valley. They support local and surrounding communities. The Green Apple Project was started in 2016 by Suzanne and Ruthie. They have autistic children and wanted to change the stereotype that comes along with autism. They chose the green apple because when you think of an apple, your brain automatically goes towards the red delicious. However, there are many types and styles of apples. There isn't a normal apple. They each have their own use and style, just like those with autism. When they first started, they did a campaign of pictures showing what autism looks like. They look normal on the outside, yet they have their own personalities, and no two autistic people are the same. I decided to connect with the Green Apple Project because of a friend with an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old autistic boys. I wanted to learn more and have a better understanding of what my friend goes through. I first connected with an acquaintance, Sarah Brown Hayes, who is the active chair of the Green Apple Project board. She introduced me to their new executive director, Cindy Woodbury, who was just hired this last summer, July of 2023. I first met the board this last September when I was able to attend my first and only meeting. I learned their meetings follow Robert's Rule of Order, where they go over past minutes, review budget, upcoming events, and review past events, as well as discuss the issues at hand. The meeting was led by Executive Director Sunday and Head Chair Sarah Brown Hayes. Their board consists of 8 members with a chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and committee directors. There is only one paid member plus childcare workers. Sunday is responsible for hiring and the day-to-day tasks, as well as in charge of finding funding for the organization. The board approves any new members of the board or any changes like staff. They do not have a bookkeeper or any assistants to help Sunday with her work or finding funding. During the meeting, the Green Apple Project supports their autistic community by funding sensory learning tools or calming tools to those the board deems in most need. The funds are approved on a case-by-case basis. At this meeting, it was my understanding that they needed help with applying for grants by creating a master grant application they can use to apply for funding. And the mission statement. Our mission at the Green Apple Project is to be a voice for individuals with autism and promote greater awareness and inclusion in the Lewis Clark Valley and its surrounding areas. We are dedicated to advocating for those with autism and ensuring they are fully integrated and valued members of our community. As I started my research, the Green Apple Project was in process of moving from Thane Road in Lewiston to 200 Fair Street, Clarkston. Because of this, they did not have an office, and their meetings were put on hold until November when their new office space was finished. In the beginning of my project, I did not have much direction or communication with Sunday at the Green Apple Project, and because of this, I had a rocky start. I was confused on what I was supposed to do. I relied on my acquaintance Sarah to get more information about the Green Apple Project to complete my assignments. I focused on the first half of my research, learning what a grant was, and the process and all of the requirements. I used our class resources to go to sites like grants.gov to look at autism, health, or education-related grants that applied. I learned the types of grants that are available are clinic research, organizations, or to help individual families. Most grants I came across would apply more to the families of autism rather than organizations. I hit a big brick wall without knowing the inside workings of how the Green Apple Project operates, and I was worried how I was going to complete my semester. I was finally able to connect with Sunday on October 31st by Zoom. I felt like I had a new outlook on this presentation, as she had said she just needs help with research and not actual grant writing. She needed help finding resources and statistical data to use for applying for grants. I went to websites like autismspeaks.org, cdc.gov, or cdc.gov, Washington Department of Health, just to name a few. I was also able to review the Green Apple Project bylaws and their Form 990 to get a better understanding of their board. According to bylaws, they can have a minimum of 3 board members and a max of 12. The board members can serve a three-year term for a max of 9 years before they must take a break. Regular meetings frequency isn't specified. They try to meet the first Wednesday of each month from 5:30 to 7:30. From 5:30 to 7. They have the flexibility based on the organizational needs and are determined by either the board or any committees themselves. Special meetings can be called with 10 days notice. In the next couple meetings that we met over Zoom, I learned just how much weight is on Sunday's shoulders, being the only full-time staff member, while the board all have other full-time jobs. They did not have a very involved executive director leader in the past, and so she was hired to help build the organization back up and gain more funding to accomplish more. During my research, I learned that according to the CDC, 1 in 32 children in the United States are diagnosed with some form of autism. Autism is a spectrum condition and affects people in different ways. Some of the difficulties people with autism face are social, communication, and interaction challenges, repetitive and restrictive behavior, over or under sensitivity to light, sound, taste, or touch, highly focused interests or hobbies, extreme anxiety, meltdowns, and shutdowns. Signs of autism spectrum disorder often appear early in development when there are obvious delays in language skills and social interactions. Since COVID, there have been delays in early detection. The following early signs that a child may have autism would be: they don't respond with a smile or happy expression by 6 months. They don't mimic sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. They don't babble or coo by 12 months. They don't gesture like a point or a wave by 14 months. They don't say a single word by 16 months. They don't play make-believe or pretend at 18 months. And they don't say 2-word phrases by 24 months. The U.S. has 10% of its population from ages 6 to 21 as being diagnosed with autism. Washington is above the national average at 11.5%, and Idaho is 10.7%. As you see, according to the U.S. Census, those with autism are mostly white male. According to the U.S., it's starting to see more diagnosis in other categories as earlier testing is done and more is known about autism. I have just shown you a little tidbit of the things I learned regarding to autism and my project. Because we have such a high rate in the United States of autism, it just goes to show that nonprofits like the Green Apple Project have a high need for resources. The families have needs with not only medical expenses, but also with funding for physical therapy, speech therapy, and specialists. Our autistic community must travel to places like Spokane or even Seattle. Finding funding is not only beneficial for this nonprofit to pay bills, but also so they can help with gas cards, funding for places to stay while the families are traveling, childcare so parents can get out and do simple tasks like shopping. They also offer support groups. During my time with the Green Apple Project, I learned that they are a member of the LC Valley Chamber of Commerce. They have partnerships with Ethan and Friends, Boys and Girls Club, Jackson Pay It Forward, Twin County United Way, Quality Behavioral Health, Tri-State, and many others. They collaborate with each other's board to help in a main goal of helping our underprivileged youth in the LC Valley and surrounding communities. Sunday has been working hard to get grants and funding with several fundraisers to help with community learning and understanding. I learned that one of the weaknesses of the Valley is the lack of education and training for our educators and emergency personnel. In the event of an emergency with dealing with neurodivergent that could be possibly nonverbal, it's a big issue that needs to be addressed. The Green Apple Project hopes to use their new office space for community learning, training, and support groups. Our community needs more understanding that autism isn't just a childhood disease, but rather is carried long past their caregiver's life and need help and support once their primary caregivers are gone. Due to the timing of their reorganization and when this class is over, I was not able to help with much planning of their events for my project. However, I was invited to continue to be a part of this nonprofit and help as I want. Reviewing the leadership of Sunday, although I was not able to be in constant contact and learn one-on-one from her, I feel that she has a lot of good leadership qualities that helps in the future of this organization. She is enthusiastic for what she does and had childcare/teaching experience. She has the passion and drive to get what is needed to get done. One of the recommendations that I shared with her is if the board would be able to get her an assistant to help with researching and fundraising. She has so much on her shoulders for being new. I don't see that the board is currently on her side in support. I hope that they can refocus and use their connections to branch into other communities more to offer more assistance. However, to be able to do that, they need more bodies willing to step in as well as get more funding. They currently get their funding from grants, fundraisers, donations. There are no required membership fees or product that is sold. As you see, these are the two current events that they put on. They did a drinking challenge for the green apple drink with many different restaurants, and then they also offered free pictures with Santa. One of the things when I talked with Sunday, I asked her what she would take away with my project and with the nonprofits. She said that you cannot make change unless you get involved. Her recommendation is to get involved. Change only happens when people are involved and want a change. And so that's one of the biggest things that I learned from doing this project is how much work, dedication, and stress it can be able to keep a nonprofit going. Also, that you have a lot of connections to be able to serve your purpose. You need to be able to be involved in the community. So these are my sources, and then these are the sponsors that help out the Green Apple Project. So that is my project. Again, my name is Andrea Sotin. I'm based out of Lewiston. I appreciate your time and listening to my project. Thank you for listening and a great year.